Welcome back to the Intersint podcast. This is episode 42, and we haven't done this in a very long time.
It's been a while. It's such a long time.
It's been, what, 2-3 weeks now?
I think it has been 3 weeks now.
Oh, boy. So we've both been traveling separately.
Yeah, so the first week I went to Hawaii.
You did.
Which, crazy. Because I wasn't expecting that. The whole trip started off as just an idea, and I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to do it. Did not even think about like how much it would cost to go down there.
The idea too was just you say it was an idea. It was not. It was, I'm going to Hawaii. There was no other thought.
There was no idea behind it. No, I wanted to like go somewhere. And I was just like, you know what? I haven't been to Hawaii ever. Let's just do it.
But you were also just like, I think I want to go to Hawaii. 5 minutes later, I'm going to go to Hawaii. I just bought my tickets. That's the way to do it, I guess.
Like, I guess. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Otherwise, it's never going to happen.
Yeah. It's just, you just got to go do it and just get it done. And
yeah.
So the one thing too is like, at least I've always heard that like Hawaii is very expensive to be on the islands.
Surprisingly, Oahu wasn't. Maui was.
Oh, interesting. I just thought every island was expensive.
I thought so too. But then like comparing prices for each like thing, because I rented a car and like I booked the hotel and everything, and just comparing prices off that was like drastically different.
Maybe it's just like, oh, this island is more notably for tourists, so we're going to raise the prices here.
No, for me, it was like, because Honolulu is on Oahu, so it's like, we get so many tourists already. Let's keep the prices low so they keep coming because we're going to get money anyway.
Oh.
And then Maui's more quiet and like less touristy, so it's like, we need to raise the prices to keep the standard of living or whatever, or like hit our
keep the tourists out.
Tourists, I guess, or hit our tourist quota or something. I don't know.
Oh, okay, yeah. See, I don't know all the islands. I just know Honolulu. That's the only thing I know.
Which is not even an island.
It's not. It's just the city within the island.
Yes.
And it's crazy too because I went to North Carolina.
Yes.
It's funny. The day you returned is the day I flew out to North Carolina. Yeah. So we just switched places for the trips. And whenever I was in North Carolina, the amount of people I've heard talking about either A, going to Hawaii soon, or B, coming back from Hawaii just recently is insane.
Yeah. I mean, towards the end of December, 2 of my coworkers went to Hawaii. And then when they came back, I left to go to Hawaii. So even just like in our office, I was like, people are just going to Hawaii.
That's just the place to go right now, I guess.
I guess. Yeah. I mean, it's not bad because like 80-degree weather. It was perfect for me. And then coming back, I came back. I stepped out of the airport and it was snowing here.
Yep.
And I'm just like, can I just turn back around and take the plane back out to Hawaii?
You were showing me pictures of like how nice whatever you were doing was. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, do I show her the picture of the
snow? You did once.
I did. I was like, I'm just going to rip off the Band-Aid and here you go.
She needs to know. But because we went like surfing and whatnot on Oahu and snorkeling, and that was alone a very interesting experience because I've never done any of that. And so just having like, my whole thing is just like, I want to do everything just once because I won't know if I like it. I kind of want to go surfing now. But when we flew out to Maui on Wednesday that week, there was a weather advisory of like flash flooding and lightning and thunder and like, this is an emergency, you stay inside if you can. I'm like, well, there goes the rest of my trip. So I was like trying to figure out, do I go home early? Because I don't know how long this is going to last or if it's going to like ruin anything. All the activities that I had booked for Maui called me and they're just like, yeah, we're going to have to cancel. I'm like, I figured.
I was hoping you were going to.
But they're like, it's not going to last. So do you want to reschedule? I'm like, okay, when's your next availability? And they're like, oh yeah, Friday or whatever. I'm like, you know what? I paid to get out here. I'm not going to pay more just to fly home.
Exactly.
Let's just stay here and like finish out the trip, which I'm glad I did. It was really nice.
And with the whole like snorkeling thing, is that one of those? Because obviously you just have a straw to breathe through, basically, that goes out of the water.
Much. Yeah.
So you had to like really focus on keeping your head at a specific angle the entire time, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
I would be so focused on that I wouldn't be enjoying anything else. I'm like, keep my breathing tube above water. That's all I need to focus on right now.
So I haven't swam in like 12 years. I'm not that good at swimming anymore.
Oh yeah, same.
I needed a pool noodle just to stay afloat.
Pool noodle.
They brought pool noodles for people who couldn't swim.
Oh, did they really?
And I'm like, yeah, I jumped in and I was just like flailing and like trying to tread water. And I'm like, I don't remember how to do this.
They're like a magic carpet in the water.
So I'm just like, I flagged to the people running the boat. And I was like, hey, can you toss me a noodle? I can't swim. And even that was just so embarrassing.
I'm just imagining just the fish like, oh, look at this one. It has to have these colorful noodles.
Look at this loser.
I guess if that's the case where you're just floating with something, then it makes keeping your head
above water easier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely did help.
Because trying to focus on that while trying to focus on swimming, while trying to focus on...
Yeah, and then like, just in my head, it was like, if I want to go completely underwater, I have to remember not to breathe because this thing's not going to work.
I was going to ask you if you accidentally like waterboarded yourself by getting water in the tube.
I did so there was a giant inflatable water slide on the boat, and they released that, and they're like, if you guys want to go, you guys can go. And I'm like, you know what? I want to try this. Was not expecting how violently it would throw me into the ocean.
Just yeeted you into the water.
Pretty much. And I just waterboarded myself there. Aww. Same with surfing. Like, I bruised my ribs surfing.
So, because we've already discussed on the podcast about the ice skating thing. Mm-hmm. And how with rollerblades ice skating, you're just not good at balance.
No.
So how, like, was it instant just you would stand up and just tank it into the water?
The first couple times, yes.
Ah, okay.
And then I knew like how to balance.
Oh, nice.
But the thing is, like, it was a lot of baby waves. So it wasn't like the optimal like surfing conditions. It was nice to learn on, but it wasn't like I would choose this wave to go on if I knew how to surf.
Yeah, I would not expect your first time surfing to be
30-foot waves.
Monstrous waves that are just going to destroy you.
No, but I did want something like that I could have a longer surf ride on instead of just toppling over the second I stand.
Yeah, but also it's just like safety at that point.
True.
To not drown.
True. Next time.
I've always wanted to try it, but I guess I never thought about smaller waves. It's just one of those things I always see, I guess in the movies and stuff, or just on shows, how it's just giant waves or like just fierce waves, and I'm just like, nope, I can't do that.
Like the surfboard itself is buoyant, so like that is your flotation device, and it's strapped onto you. Right,
but if you're underwater, what, you have to pull on the string to pull yourself up to the board?
No, like the board itself is like attached to you.
No, I know.
So you just float yourself on towards the board.
I just mean like,
if that makes sense.
I just think of like movies and stuff where they get hit with a wave, they go underwater, then they try to come up and then they get hit by another wave and they keep stuck underwater and they can't get back to their board.
I don't think that ever really happens. I've never seen it out there.
Well, considering the waves you were on, that makes sense.
Well, I've seen like surfers on other waves too. Like we were on the beach and it was giant waves.
True.
I don't know. I think it's stuff like that is like not overhyped, but more overdone for dramatic effect.
Yeah, for a movie or something, yes.
Yeah.
But now that you've done a surfboard, you could probably ride on a longboard.
Maybe, yeah.
It's just now instead of water, you're just on pavement, so it's the same thing.
Yeah, I would just need protection.
Yes, a helmet and everything.
A helmet.
Which, speaking of like reviewing those a while back, the episodes where I had the concussion, I didn't realize how bad it was until listening back to that audio.
What do you mean?
Just reviewing it back, and I'm like, I cannot make a single thought at all during these podcasts.
I'm surprised I even understood you during recording. But then again, it's you, and I'm like, we've known each other for such a long time that it makes sense that even with you in this condition, I can understand you.
Yes. Because during those podcasts, it was making sense to me. But now when listening back to it, I'm like, I don't even understand what I'm saying.
Aw.
Which, with how we've talked about in that episode with how bad 2025 started.
Yes.
So, like, I had that concussion, and then it took me pretty much all of January before it was gone.
Getting better, right.
The instant I felt better, I get sick. I'm like, what is going on? Is this going to be my entire year?
Yeah, I got sick there too.
And then you got sick when you go to Hawaii.
Mm-hmm. And I got better actually within 2 days, so that wasn't too bad.
Oh, so did I, yeah. It was like a very quick in and out sickness. So it's just like, oh, what's going to be worse? Like, I was expecting, because, so whenever I go to North Carolina, you watched my dog.
I did, yes.
You've never taken care of a dog before.
Nope. I was scared out of my mind of like, I will fuck this up. And if your dog ends up dead, I'm sorry.
I was not the fact that you were watching it, the dog, just the fact of like with how my luck has been going in 2025 so far. I was just expecting like, oh, I came to take care of the dog and he was dead already in the room. Like, oh, okay, cool.
Cool. You can go home, I guess.
We're already on the second month and just so much bad has happened.
Yeah, really.
It's just like, can we stop already?
How do we change course of this year?
But how was your experience watching a dog, never having done that before?
I mean, you left detailed instructions of what to do.
And you had training.
So it wasn't like, yes, and the training. So it wasn't as bad as I thought it would. I was not expecting it for it to snow the week I was doing it. So that was just an added stress that I didn't need.
And I didn't think it was going to really snow much more. So I didn't provide any more notes about the
snow. Every time I would take him out, he would just get distracted by the snow.
Oh, yeah. He gets distracted by everything.
And you didn't warn me about that. So I was just like, because you mentioned in the beginning, like, oh, in the morning, it's about like 10 minutes, just in and out really quick. Towards the end of the day, it's longer walks. This whole week has been 40 minutes to an hour walks each time.
Oh, no.
So I'm just like, I don't know what to do in this situation.
I think he was just taking advantage of you.
Definitely.
It's like, oh, I can get away with this. I don't have to worry.
But he was good.
Yeah, but now I'm noticing it too. Like, I'll take him outside and he's like, oh, I'm going to do this thing, and starts walking away. I'm like, what are you doing?
You know this.
You were spoiled for a week of getting to do whatever you want.
Oopsies.
That was good. It went well.
It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
But on top of that, with the North Carolina trip.
Yeah. So how did your thing go?
It was one of those things of, I always forget to factor in time zones whenever I travel.
Yeah.
So whenever I get there, I eat breakfast at like 4 a.m.
Oh, true. Yeah.
At the airport, because my flight was at like 6, I think.
8.
Was it 8?
I think so.
I don't know. I don't remember.
It was early in the morning. Yeah. That's all we know.
So I'm sitting there enjoying my muffin, having my hot chocolate, and because I was like, oh, I'm gonna get a coffee. No, because I know my bladder, and I know that if I have a coffee, I'm going to be up about 5 times on the plane going to the bathroom. I'm like,
just
I don't want to.
that toilet would have been your seat. Same issue when hiking, too. You have issues.
What do you mean?
With you, before the hike even starts, you need to go.
If I have coffee, yeah.
We have learned.
Yeah, I need to learn when to have caffeine.
Yes.
So I'm sitting there enjoying my stuff, and I found this little nook that was like hidden away, and there's just vending machines in front of me, and I'm like, I'm just gonna sit on these seats and enjoy. No one's around me. I can just enjoy my food. There was a vending machine in front of me. Like, there's one off to the side, which was, I think, energy drinks and soda. Then the one right next to it was water and like healthy stuff. And the one that was water and healthy stuff was broken.
Of course.
So the first lady comes up and she goes to buy a water. She scans her card, pays for it, pushes the button, and the little tray like goes bzz, bzz, and doesn't pick up any drink and just goes back to the corner. And she's just in there staring at the machine. And she looks back at the payment screen, back at the water, back at the payment screen. And I'm just in behind her watching all this happen.
Just munching on your muffin.
Yep. So then she pays again a second time.
What the fuck?
And she pushes the buttons again. And so and goes back to the corner, no water. And she's just staring at it and she just huffs. And she walks away. And she's like thinking. And then she comes back and tries a third time. I'm like, lady, you just tried twice and you didn't get your water.
You just wasted money.
Well, the third time happens and she just huffs and walks away because she's mad. So then I'm still just enjoying my muffin and another lady comes up and uses the machine. Does the same exact thing, pays 3 times, not getting a drink 3 times.
Wow.
My boss finds me and comes to sit down and like, this has been entertainment all day, just watching these people trying to buy water. And I'm like, okay, maybe I should just start warning people that this is broken because a lot of people are doing this now.
Mm-hmm.
But him and I are talking and a guy walks up to the machine, but we're in the middle of a conversation. So I'm like, I'm going to watch this one go through. The guy goes to pay and all I hear is, motherfucker. He storms off angry. I'm like, okay, that was worth it not to tell him. That was pretty funny.
Wow.
So for the 2 hours or something I'm waiting for my flight, that was my entertainment, was watching people use this broken vending machine.
So did you tell people that it was broken?
Eventually I started like feeling bad. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start stopping people and telling them that it's broken. So then that was my only food at like 4 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
We fly out there and we don't land until, what time did we land? Sorry, I'm trying to think. We didn't land until like 4 something that time.
Towards the evening.
Yeah. So already with the time zone jump and stuff, it's already been 12 hours, technically. We go to leave. We get our rental car. We get the wrong rental car because they said red Dodge Ram. We got in the red Dodge Ram. It was the wrong red Dodge Ram, even though it's the only one we saw. We're all starving. We're tired from the flight. Finally get to the hotel and like we had to deal with the check-in thing and that was some things were wrong with that. And I'm just like, are we not allowed to eat today? Like I just want food.
Oh.
And then we get to like this Italian restaurant and I got through my food in about 5 seconds.
Oh wow.
And I still wanted more. I'm like, I need more food.
Aw.
But aside from that, I mean, it was a fine trip there and back. But then I get back home and I realize I don't have any food here.
No. That was the same issue with me because I basically ate everything and like I didn't prepare for the week I'd be back.
Yeah, there's no point in like buying food because we're going to be gone.
Exactly. This is why people come back and then they take a day off before they actually go back to work.
That is, oh yeah, you just went right to work the next day.
I did, yeah. No, I didn't go right to work. I went to your place.
Well, yeah, but you started work the next day.
Yes, yeah. My initial plan before you had all this was to just work from home the first couple days.
You could have just worked from my place then, since you were here already.
Yeah, but then it's like I have things that I need to do. I have meetings, so it's better if I just go there. So I have like all 3 screens instead of just the one.
Oh, true. Yeah.
So I was like, I mean, your place is like what, 5 minutes from the office, so.
True. Yeah, so I'm like, oh, I'm hungry whenever I get back. Open up the freezer, nothing. Oh yeah, forgot I didn't buy food.
Yeah.
Luckily, you happen to mention like, oh, I think Panda Express is open until 11 p.m. So I went and bought Panda Express.
Well, I looked it up of like places open past 10, and Panda Express was like written there on that list. And I was like, I remember passing by one from your place going back home. So I was like, you know what? I'll mention this to him. So glad it worked out for you.
Yeah, it was one of those things where like, I'm like, I'll just get something small. And I order my food and then she asks me a question, but I'm so tired and hungry and I just want to go to sleep. And I couldn't understand what she was asking me. So I'm like, oh, what was that? And she repeated. I still don't know what the question was, but I just said no.
What did you say no to?
I don't know. I truly don't know. I said no to something.
I thought you would have figured it out after.
No, I just wanted my food. I wanted to go eat.
Aw.
And then I get home. I'm like, oh, I'm expecting the dog to jump on me and like be all excited. He was just pissed the entire time.
Oh, I figured. I left him pissed.
Oh, really?
Like, I put everything on because he didn't eat all too much. He had like a couple bites. And then I was like, you know what? It's almost time for me to go. I'll just get your place situated and then let him go. I put the cone on him and he just goes to his bed and just like lays there staring at me. And I'm like, okay, bye, be good. And then like nothing. Even like coming in the door that morning, he was just like, oh, it's you.
What do you want? Yeah, so he was pretty mad that I was gone that entire time.
I figured. It's pretty much of like, how dare you show your face?
Yeah. Go back to wherever you were at. Which, perfect timing for us going on these trips with all of these plane crashes happening.
Yeah, really. What the fuck was all that?
It's like right before you were already in Hawaii.
Yeah.
So then it was right before I was about to leave. I'm like getting all my stuff packed up and there's that DC accident.
Yeah.
And then literally the next day, 2 days later?
The next day, yep.
Is the Philly accident.
Mm-hmm.
And like, if there's one more... I'm not going on this trip.
I remember you telling me that too, of like, if there's one more, I'm not going.
I was ready to tell my boss, like, I'm sorry, I'm not going on this trip anymore.
I would rather be alive, thank you.
And then, literally just yesterday, a third one happened in Alaska.
Yep.
What the fuck is happening with planes? We all are always told they're safer than driving. Now I don't believe that anymore.
I don't believe that anymore. Not even that. It's like, those who are in the air... The amount of stuff that's happened on the tarmac before the flight even takes off has been like increasing too.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that one too.
Of like at the airport, I think it was the day you were leaving too.
It was, yeah.
It was the morning you were leaving.
Literally,
I texted you. I was like, "You heard about the SeaTac thing, right?" He's like, "No," and I told you basically like a plane basically crashed into another plane, backing out from its gate.
How?
Exactly. Like it's designed to have adequate spacing. So what are you doing to back out?
It seems like people aren't paying attention now.
I guess, yeah.
Like the DC thing is like, were you not looking at the screens to see that this was happening?
Well, not even that, because it was like the helicopter was in visual.
Well, yeah, but with the visual thing, like you got to think of how fast those things are moving.
True, but it's like you at least say something if you can't see the plane.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, we're not pilots. We're not air traffic controllers. We don't know.
I was getting ready. Like, I'm excited that I'm gonna get back home because I forgot how terrible hotel showers are with water pressure.
Yep.
It's like, oh, it's just a dribble as if someone's peeing on me, and that's like the pressure that I get.
Not even that. Like because you have a standard shower head.
Yes.
I have a detachable shower head, and that alone is my most prized possession. I love that thing. I forget how great that thing is.
Why though? What's the advantage of it?
You don't have to just stand there. It ensures that everything is taken off you. Like I have had incidents where I would step out of the shower and like I'd have a patch of soap or shampoo on my head. I had to like go back in the shower and like just vigorously just scrub my head again. And then at least with the shower head, like I can like make sure like everything's taken off.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And I just feel more cleaner. Like I don't feel like there's still soap on me.
It goes back to the whole electric toothbrush to manual toothbrush.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was miserable with that. I was like, my shower, I had to do this thing where I had to crank the shower up to the hottest it could be and go walk and do something else in the apartment or the hotel and then come back. And by that time, the water was finally boiling hot and I had to then turn down the water and then walk away for a little bit more and wait till it now comes down to temperature. It's like a huge delay between where I'm putting the knob and when the temperature actually reached the faucet.
I wonder if that's the case in like residences there. I don't know. I want to figure that out of like, does hotel water pressure and how you play around with like the controls and the temperature correlate to is it the same thing as if you like lived there?
Oh, the residency thing.
Yeah.
There's a hotel near my apartments now, and they're like residencies available. I'm like, I wonder how much that is. To get constant room service all the time and be fine, like free.
Right? Free breakfast every day.
Oh, I didn't think about that part.
Oh, can we do that?
Just screw the apartments and just live in the hotel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It might be cheaper, honestly.
I would rather do that.
Now that's something I'm going to look into.
But we have to ensure they give breakfast every day.
Oh, it has to have breakfast every day.
Yes, it has to have food.
That's the one thing I was excited about whenever with the hotel. I'm like, oh, they better have a waffle maker.
Did you have your waffles?
I did have my waffles. And it wasn't just the normal big waffles. They had the little mini 4 waffles in the thing.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I got to make little mini waffles instead of one giant one.
Aw, yay.
It was so delicious. I was so happy.
Yay.
But also with that, like, the last time I flew, when was the last time you flew, actually?
Las Vegas last year.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking when you went to Texas. Yeah, I forgot about Las Vegas.
Also last year. No.
Texas
22?
was the year before, yeah.
Yeah.
So I haven't flown since, 2015, maybe?
10 years ago?
10 years ago is the last time I flew. So I just forgot about a lot of stuff. Like, I didn't bring Q-tips because I just completely forgot I needed those. Didn't bring, like, toothpicks at all. Forgot about that. But I go to the security in the airport. Okay. And back last time I was flying, it was all metal detector. And they had that machine that you do that weird pose in.
Can we make a soundboard for all the weird shit you do? Yes, you stand with your hands above your head.
So that was like an optional thing. Like, they would sometimes send people to that, but that's about it.
Right. If you needed extra screening, or if you were like me and it had the 4 S's and you have to been forced to extra screening, then yes, they would force you in that. Yes.
What is the 4 S's again? It's just like
selective screening.
Oh, okay.
It's basically like you have the pat down, and then randomly you get the 4 S's on your boarding pass. They see that and they pull you aside and like put like the metal wand detectors on you and like feel you up more.
It has nothing to do with the skin color.
No, not at all. No. Not at all. It has nothing to do with your name or your skin color. It's very random.
Very random system. Sorry. You always get it for some reason. What luck you have. And so, like, now they don't even have the metal detector part. It's just that machine.
No.
And it's like, okay, this is new. I go through and I forgot to take off my belt.
Of course you did.
And I think I forgot to take off my belt because it wasn't the metal detector. So I'm like, oh, this should be fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I do it, and then I go, and the guy's like, oh, it triggered on your crotch area. And it's like, oh, shit. Yeah, it's my belt. And I show him my belt. I'm like, yeah, I didn't take it off. Sorry. And he's like, okay, well, we're going to have to do an additional screening thing. He's like, I'm going to be using the back of my hands to go over your thigh, like the whole spiel.
Yeah.
And he's like, do you want to go somewhere private to do this, or do you want to do it here? I'm like, I need to get to the plane. Just do it here. I don't care.
Do you want to go somewhere private?
So then he says, I take off my belt, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so he's like, all right, put your hands into your belt loops. And I say, oh, no, it's okay. The belt is kind of just there. It's not holding up my pants really. So my pants aren't going to fall. He gave me the most serious look ever. And he's like, sir, please put your fingers through your belt loops. And I'm like, oh God.
Will I get arrested today?
So I'm like sitting there and I'm like, fingers in the belt loops. The amount of jokes that came into my head as he's doing this pat down.
Do you want to explain what I sent to you before this even happened?
Oh, you sent me a shirt and it was like, what? It's not gay if it's TSA.
Yeah. Because we were talking about that at work too when I was leaving, and we were just talking about like, what's the most ridiculous thing you can wear to the airport? And one of my coworkers, I think somebody like found this shirt or somebody said this. And I'm like, this is going to stick with me forever now.
And that's what was going through my head. Whenever like he's doing this, I thought about that shirt you sent me. I wanted to make so many jokes. I'm like, this is not the time to be a smartass. Let's just keep those bottled in.
He already yelled at me once.
I don't want to like text you and be like, hey, I'm in airport jail right now.
Do I need to come get you?
And so like on my return flight, this time took off my belt, everything out, go through, and then, my crotch set off the thing again. I'm like, what the fuck is happening with these machines?
It could have been the button on the jeans.
But then that would be setting off every single person's thing. Every
I guess
pair
that's
of
the
pants has a button.
material it's made out of.
I feel like every button is metal.
Because my like hair tie triggered too.
Weird.
When I was coming back. And it's plastic. It's legit, like, not plastic, but like, I don't know what it is, but it's not like metal or anything. And they felt at my hair to like see if I had to like, if I was hiding anything in there. I'm like, no, it's just my hair tie.
Ooh, head massage. Thank you.
Which is weird because before I had my mask in my pocket. Because they had to like, you had to take it off to like have the driver's license match your face, match the boarding pass. And so I just put it in my pocket just so it's like safe in there. And I go through the machine and it triggers and the lady's like, what is that? I'm like, oh, it's just my mask. And she's like, okay, that's fine, go. I'm like, it's paper. It's paper. It's fucking like cardboard. It's paper.
That's why I wonder if it's a thickness thing, like, because
probably
it also set off my beanie the second time.
Oh.
So I was wearing my Boundaries beanie, and because of how thick it is, I'm like, is it registering like how thick it is plus the tag on the side?
Maybe.
So they had to like search my beanie and like feel it, and so then the second time the guy's like, all right, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna use the same spiel I got before.
Aww.
He's like, do you want to go to a private area or do you want to do it here? I'm like, just here, it's fine. I need to get this over with. And he for some reason reiterated 3 more times, like, are you sure you want to do it out here or do you want to go to a private area? I'm like, here. I already told you here.
I think it's because people have gotten pissed off before to the point where like additional security had to have been called, so they just take that precaution if it's happened to them.
I don't know. I'm just like
just to make it clear of like, this is what you requested. This is what I'm giving you. You better not come at me.
Maybe, but I'm just like, just touch my butt, touch my legs.
Violate me already.
Let's just get moving on.
Molest me, please.
And again, had to refrain from all the smart ass comments in my head as he was doing it. So I was shocked at how different the airport was within 10 years.
Yeah.
Just, it was weird.
Aw. Would you fly again?
I don't know. Well, I mean, with all these plane incidents, I don't know if
exactly.
I want to be on a plane again.
That's what I was thinking too, of like, I would much rather have, like, because I'm a germaphobe.
Yes.
And so, like, I tried not to go to the bathroom. I had my hand sanitizer with me and kept using that. And I'm just like, this is the exact reason why I would rather have a private plane.
I thought about the same exact thing. I thought about it on the flight back, because the flight there was 4 hours. The flight back was 7.
Okay.
I was like, why is it 3 more hours?
Makes sense.
Why?
The weather.
Oh, maybe.
They accounted for the delays at SeaTac to the flight time.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Because I got a notification saying, like, all flights departing or arriving at SeaTac have, like, a 45-minute to an hour delay.
Oh.
For all flights.
Okay, that makes more sense. But whenever I landed and, like, I'm driving back to my apartment, I'm like, I should get a private jet. Like, it'd be so useful.
It's funny, though, because, like, my flight time, we got there 45 minutes early. And the pilot goes, so we're here. I got you back 45 minutes early. I'm sorry.
Why is that a bad
Hope
thing?
you had a nice flight.
I know you wanted to be stuck in a metal tube with strangers for another 45 minutes, but...
No, he's like joking around. I'm like, I like this guy. I want to meet him. I want to shake his hand. Thank you for bringing me back alive.
Nah, you're not allowed to talk to the pilots.
Thanks. Fuck you.
You have the 4 S's. You can't talk to the pilots.
That's so mean. I want to talk to the pilot. Or do I need like somebody white with me?
Probably. You need like a white pass.
Wow. Can I have one?
I'll travel with you just to be the white guy.
The standard white person.
No, it's okay. Look, I have a white guy right here with me.
This one is with me.
It's like a Pokemon. White guy, I choose you. The thing is, too, is like...
I was trying to think of the most generic white song.
The most generic... What is the most generic white song?
You tell me. This is a question directed to you.
First thing that popped in my head was Sweet Caroline.
That's in my head, too.
It's just like...
The second one was Mr. Brightside.
No, well, yeah, okay, yeah, I can see that. I just think of like Sweet Caroline. When that song comes on, every white person is just on board and happy and singing along.
You?
Ba, ba, ba.
Sweet Caroline. Ba, ba, ba.
You just get a megaphone outside and start singing that. It's like it's herding all the cows towards you. Like all the white people come out and like singing, walking towards you.
Ooh, where is this coming from?
Our anthem. Where is that? Now, what is like the most Indian song then? Tanuk Tanuk?
Probably. Probably.
Tanuk 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 Tanuk.
Ooh, where?
I was about to do an Indian accent.
Ooh, where is that one coming from? That's funny because one of my friends at work texted me that, and he's like, "This is your anthem. This is your theme song, right?" I'm like, "Excuse me, theme song?" He's like, "Yeah, whenever you enter a room, this plays, right?"
It's just you get onto instead of elevator music, that song's just playing in all the elevators and stuff. Oh boy. Oh, also, you mentioned, I bought Wi-Fi on the airplane.
Oh,
because you flew Alaska.
Well, I didn't buy. It's free for T-Mobile users. So if you're a T-Mobile customer, you should know this. If you have a flight that's like however many hours long, you have 4 separate sessions for your flights. The whole duration of the flight to get free Wi-Fi, free texting, free data, whatever.
Per day?
Per flight.
Oh, okay.
You have 4 sessions through the year.
Oh.
So in the year, you have 4 sessions, and you could use it for any flight for the whole duration of the flight to be connected, which is nice.
This is like the 4th time now that T-Mobile has pulled through like the airplane Wi-Fi.
I told you this. Like, they are making up for their sucky service.
They have to be. Like, when we went to Blink-182, there's a T-Mobile Fast Pass.
Yep.
Like, we're not going to give you good service, but here's a lot of cool free shit that we'll give you.
Cool other shit that you want.
Well, yeah, you get weekly free shit, right?
Yeah. This week, or this coming Tuesday, I'm getting a free umbrella.
Meanwhile,
you want one?
Meanwhile, Verizon's laying off people and like, you'll get good service, but you're not getting anything else.
Do you want to switch?
I kind of want to just to get all the free stuff.
Aw, I mean, you can.
Yeah.
Unless you're a Verizon diehard and would rather stay with them.
No, the only reason, I mean, you're going to say this tracks for me. The only reason I have Verizon is because that was the first carrier I had back when I got my first cell phone. And I just never changed.
I mean, that makes sense, because that's been me ever since I got my first one.
Oh, you've always been with T-Mobile?
I've always been with T-Mobile, yeah.
Oh, okay. Actually, no, that's a lie. My first...
You lied.
My first phone was with Singular.
That's AT&T.
Which was bought out by AT&T, yes. But Singular was its own thing back in the day.
I remember that. I remember the commercials.
I still have that phone.
Do you?
I thought I showed you all that stuff.
You showed me like a box of phones. I just didn't know which one.
Next time we hang out, I'll show you again. But yeah, it's that giant box of phones that I just keep around as like history.
Yeah.
But so you mentioned the whole Wi-Fi thing.
Mm-hmm.
First flight down, I slept the entire time.
Of course.
The flight back, I slept for about 2.5 hours. But then when I woke up for snacks.
Priorities.
It was. Dude, they give you the twisty pretzels.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the twisty pretzels are the best things in the world.
They gave you... Which one did they give you?
For what?
Because there's different flavors.
So on the flight down is regular, which still amazing.
Amazing, yes.
On the way back up, it was the herb and bold and herb or something.
Oh, those are good too.
Oh, they were so delicious.
They gave us Maui onion flavored.
Oh, that sounds
which
amazing.
Was amazing. Do you want to know the best part?
What?
Safeway sells them.
What?
In a big bag. Yeah.
Oh, I want to... Wait, Safeway here?
Yeah.
Oh, we need to go. Go for this. Why are the twisty pretzels so much better than normal pretzels?
Because they're twisty.
Is that it?
Yes. The flavor gets trapped in the twists, so there's more flavor.
That's why they do the twists.
Yes.
To lock in the flavor. But then after I woke up, like, I couldn't get back to sleep.
That makes sense.
So then I'm like, oh, Wi-Fi. Kaneez told me about this. I'm going to buy it. I go on and I look up the instructions. $8. I'm like, it's $8 for like 4 more hours of internet. I guess that's worth it. Like, I can watch a movie and stuff.
Watch 2 movies.
I could watch 2 movies. I buy the internet and I text you like, hey, I bought the internet. I was going to watch The Batman with Robert Pattinson.
No. Backtrack. You just say hi. You didn't say anything about buying internet. I asked you, did you buy Wi-Fi? And you said, no, I'm texting telepathically. And I'm just like, okay, fuck you.
How else would I be sending you anything?
You could have just used like your boss's Wi-Fi hotspot, that, instead of paying.
Does that work?
Yeah.
I didn't know a hotspot worked, because you need cell service for a hotspot.
If your boss has like T-Mobile or whatever, and he's connected, you could take that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So I was just like, because you don't seem the type to be buying shit anywhere.
I was bored.
Especially on planes. And so I asked you very innocently, did you buy Wi-Fi? And you gave me the most sarcastic, sassiest response ever. And I just wanted to reach into my phone and smack the shit out of you.
Does it surprise you that I was being sassy?
No, but I wasn't expecting it.
Aw.
You hurt my feelings.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you better be. 5 days later.
The thing is like, I knew I was going to lose my mind on that flight because direct flight, I honestly, I'm the type of person, I prefer layovers.
Oh, okay.
Because it gives me a chance to get off, walk around, stretch my legs, and just maybe eat.
The only thing about layovers is that you can't control them, which is why I don't choose them.
Yes.
And so if my gate is like on one end of the airport and the next flight is at the very other end of the airport, I'm like, how much time do I have? I don't know this airport.
True.
And I don't want to like waste my time running around.
I've never had that though. Like every layover I've ever had, it's just like I get to sit around for like an hour or 2.
Okay.
Which, I mean, yeah, that's more of your day wasted. But the flight down,
it gives you a break.
Yeah, the flight to the layover is like 2 hours tops. You get off the plane, then you fly another 2 hours, and then you're done. It's like a nice little intermission between the flights. Being on a plane for 5+ hours, I'm just like, I can't do this. I'm losing my mind being stuck in this tube.
You wouldn't survive an international flight then.
I really don't think I would. I don't know how. If I do, I'm buying a Steam Deck.
If you do, I'd be surprised if you don't buy anything for it. For a plane.
I would have to.
Yeah.
I'd just go crazy. So
before you go into that, that happened to me actually, of like everybody else's TV worked except for my row.
Of course, that's your luck.
And I was losing my mind because not only was I in the middle row, because it's 4 seats in the middle and 3 seats on the other side.
Oh, okay.
So not only was I stuck in the middle row, I was stuck in the middle seat of the middle row.
Oh no.
And so I felt like I couldn't escape because then I would be disturbing other people just to get out.
Exactly, yeah.
And so I was losing my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And then the flight attendants were like, we're really sorry. We didn't expect this. We didn't know about it until now. We'll fix it. But here's some free shit. Here's some free snacks and free food. Go wild. I'm like, oh. Ooh.
That's
this
good.
Makes up for everything.
Yeah, so I mean, first of all, that sounds like your luck.
Yep.
And it would be my luck because after I sent you that sassy remark, I go to click on The Batman. I'm gonna like, oh, I wanted to watch this movie with Robert Pattinson. Gonna watch it. Go to click on it. Wi-Fi cuts out.
You know why that happened?
Because I bought it.
Because you were sassy to me.
Probably, yeah.
Karma.
So the Wi-Fi cuts out. I'm like, okay, whatever. Like the flight attendants were told about it. They're like, oh yeah, we're going to reset the Wi-Fi. It's going to be about 15 minutes. Which took me back to our days in the office.
Wow. I remember. I forgot about that until this very moment.
I forgot about it until it happened to me on the plane. Like, every time the internet went out at our place, you and I were the ones responsible for turning it back on.
Yep.
Because no one else knew how. It was just you and I who knew how.
And you would do it, or like you'd like be there to hold me while I go in the back and like actually turn it on, because I was the smallest, so I could fit through all that.
Oh, yeah.
But so that I wouldn't fall, you would be there to hold me and like make sure I don't injure myself.
Yeah, like held your hand as like you like did that leaning out thing, like you're trying to save someone and to like do the Wi-Fi thing. So 15 minutes go by, no Wi-Fi. 20 minutes, no Wi-Fi. 30 minutes, no Wi-Fi.
Wow.
It was like an hour later. I'm like, okay, well, the Batman's now out. It's too long of a movie and I can't watch it in time. Found another movie. I'm like, okay, this is going to be lined up for
what movie?
The Invention of Lying, I think is what it's called.
I saw that one. Well, I
you
didn't
saw
watch it, but I saw it on the thing.
Apparently it's really good. I wanted to watch that. Went to watch that, and I'm like, okay, so whenever Wi-Fi comes back on, this is the movie now because I have enough time for this movie. About like an hour and a half later, the flight attendant is like, oh, we're going to try to reset the Wi-Fi again. So give it 15 minutes. We're going to see. Never came back on. So that I bought Wi-Fi for $8 for 2 minutes of use and then never got to use it again after that.
Aww. You told them about it, right? Like of you paying and not wanting a refund?
No, I didn't tell them. I was just going to go through my bank and...
Oh, and just like file a claim.
Yeah. Just say like, I bought this and I got 2 minutes
they
of use out of it.
Don't even say that. Just say they didn't deliver.
Yeah, I will. So I'll do that. But I was like, this is my luck. Like everyone else was watching movies perfectly until I buy it and want to watch a movie. And then
you ruined it for everybody else.
I did. So then I just literally sat there looking at the back of the seat in front of me for the next 4 hours. Just so
you
bored.
want to know? I've seen you sit. Wow. Doing that for 2 hours.
Which, by the way, this is a one-time thing that this happened, right?
Is it? I don't think so, no.
I'm self-conscious about the way I sit.
You've sat in my car before. The way you get in is like very proper.
How do you get into a car properly?
You make sure my seats don't sag, and then you sit very straight with your back basically like a pencil, like very straight, with your hands folded on your lap, and you just sit there.
I don't know if this is a thing I've
British.
done all the time until you called it out. Now I'm thinking back to every time I've ever sat ever in a chair, and I'm just like...
You've probably done the same thing.
Do I do this all the time?
Do you do this on the toilet?
And then you're like, oh, British thing, and just like, oh, I'm about to take a poo.
I'm going to the loo, sir.
I was so mad.
Aww.
Meanwhile, my boss is sitting next to me. He has a Nintendo Switch, and he's just playing games like, you bitch.
Do you want to share? You could have shared, actually.
Oh, yeah, he could have taken out the controllers, and we could have played a 2-player game.
Exactly.
He never even said anything.
Bitch.
I'm calling him out
on Monday.
I am.
Do it. Do it right after this.
Yeah, just text him and be like, you bitch.
You fucking inconsiderate ass.
You could have given me the second remote. But we're back now.
Yeah. Are we? I've been physically back. I have not been emotionally black. Black.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa, no.
Wow.
You're being emotionally black now? What does that
I have
mean?
not been. I don't know. I have not been emotionally back.
Oh, same.
Or like mentally back.
Yesterday was my first like full day back in Washington.
Mm-hmm.
I just sat on the computer watching YouTube all day. I'm just like, I don't want to do anything.
Because like for me, it's been like the instant I come back, I have to go to. My routine is all ruined because I have to go to your place multiple times now.
Oh yeah.
And so yesterday was the first full day I've had to myself, to the point where I could like actually mentally relax.
That, and on top of that, we were both broken.
Oh, yeah. I backed myself into my heater. And I didn't think any of it until it started hurting. Like my leg was on the metal piece, and I was like, "Oh, this is nice and warm," until it started burning.
This feels good. Oh, too much good. Ouch.
Oh no! And so now there's like a giant. I've been branded now by my heater, so there's like the pattern of the heater's metal part on my leg,
like the honeycomb shape.
Yes, I've been branded.
I wonder if it's gonna scar like that, and it's just always gonna be there.
It better not scar. I'm gonna be so mad.
You're gonna be a badass with a honeycomb scarring.
With a honeycomb scar.
And how did you burn your leg on the heater?
I was changing and I was backing up because my pants would come off.
So you burn your leg. For me, sitting for like 5+ hours, my leg has been so tight and like my muscles hurt. So I've been hobbling around too.
Oh. Do you want to explain your arm?
Oh, I forgot about my right hand hurts to pick things up. I feel so weak in my right arm. My muscles are so sore because
I was gonna say, please say because
I bowled 2 games of bowling.
Yay!
And apparently that was way too much exercise for my arm, and now it's just useless.
2 heavy balls. Those balls are too heavy.
My spaghetti arms couldn't support that much. It's just like, I did not think we were both going to be broken by the time we got back from the trips. But yeah, so I didn't think we were going to talk about airplanes this entire time.
Yeah, really.
But yeah, we need to wrap up. So
we do.
It's good to be back. Good to start recording again.
Yeah.
I mean, for the audience, they're not going to notice. It's going to be seamless, but for us, it's been a long time.
So that explains why a lot of the content that you will be hearing is way past when it happened.
What do you mean?
We've recorded a lot of stuff ahead of time.
Oh,
and so by the time it releases, everything that we've talked about is pretty much over.
That is true. Yeah, I need to figure out like what the delay is between these episodes and recordings. All right, but if you like that episode, be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. Go follow our YouTube, TikTok, which is back, and Instagram at Intersint Pod. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.